Hello there, and welcome to our pilot episode of our lifestyle segment. My name is Jackie, and this is GTEX Tab Online TV. Joining me today is an award-winning entrepreneur, an e-commerce guru, a game changer, a top 40 under 40 CEO award winner. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And on top of this, she is a lover of God. Mrs. Bisi Akintayo, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's such an honor to be here, to have you. You have changed the e-commerce game. Let me start from there. And I believe that women leading in such industries, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah. So welcome to our pilot episode of GTEX Tab Online TV.
Thank you for having me once again.
And before we get into, the juicy part, the business, the e-commerce, we want to get to know you a little bit. So we're going to do a few icebreaker questions.
Okay.
Yes. So first we want to know, who is Bisi Akintayo?
Okay, Bisi Akintayo is a mother, she's a wife, and she's a coach and a trainer. But before I became all of that, I was born into a family of 7, the third child. We actually used to be a Muslim, then we changed into a Christian. So I've been a Christian since 1997 when I was taken to church, and I'm the last from my mother. My dad actually married 2 wives, so I'm the last child from my mother. And I went to school in Lagos, Nigeria. Had my primary, secondary, and tertiary education there. And that actually was the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey.
Yes.
Because right from my primary school, I had always wanted to do something related to business. I remember days whereby I had to sell my food, my lunch. I had to sell my lunch for money.
Yeah.
And I can't actually remember what most of the things I was using money to do right now.
Yeah.
And also, when I was in secondary school, we call it secondary school over there, I was able to start selling what we call chin chin.
Yes.
So I was selling it while I was in my first year in secondary school. Then in the university as well, I sold several things. Sold popcorn, sold pure water recharge card. I did everything sellable. I remember while I was still in secondary school, my dad asked me what I wanted to become in life, and I said to him I want to become a businesswoman, and he laughed and he was like, "You are not serious.
Yeah.
Out of all the businesses, lawyer, accounting, doctor, you want to become a businesswoman, you want to do buying and selling. Who does that? Who says that?"
Yeah.
Okay, but to cut the story down the line, I have been able to move from what I used to do while I was in school then to be able to move it into a different sector whereby I've been able to groom people.
Yes.
I've been able to make 7 figures and also train other people how to make 7 figures in the business as well. So it's been a journey for me of about 6 years for Bisi Akintayo, and a journey of refining myself, learning to get to know more about who I am, learning to know more about God, learning to, I actually do charity, and I've been doing that for more than 10 years right now, and getting to love what I do more and finding fulfillment, finding purpose in what I do, finding me as well.
Yes.
So it's been an amazing journey for me.
Amazing. What does your name mean? Does your name have a meaning?
Okay, my full name is Olabisi. So Olabisi means when you actually, your wealth is increasing. Yes, that is Ola, wealth, then Bisi, increase, is multiplying.
Yes.
So you are multiplying wealth. So that's the meaning of my name.
These Nigerian people, they have deep meanings.
Absolutely.
Okay. 2 things you are absolutely good at.
Okay, two things I'm actually good at when you wake me up any day, anytime. Number one is teaching. I love to teach. Okay, so I love to teach. If you can wake me up anytime. Once it's something I know about, I love to teach.
Yes.
Then the second thing is I love to give value.
Okay.
I love to give value because I believe that you only get value when you give out value. So one thing I'm actually really good at, I won't call cooking because cooking is not, I cook well, but it's not something I really love to do. I do because I have to cook for my husband, maybe people around, my children, but it's not something I really love doing.
Okay.
But teaching and adding value to people is something I want to do any day, anytime, and I love to do.
Okay. Who is your favorite child?
That's one. Even if people actually, my husband and people around me say, no, this is your favorite child. But honestly, deep down my heart, I searched and I don't have a favorite. Honestly speaking, my husband argues that, oh, this particular child is your favorite. I said, no, it's just because it's emotional. But it doesn't mean that I really have a soft spot for him. No, everybody, even my daughter, sometimes I don't even treat her like a girl because she behaves like a boy. So I don't treat her like, oh, you're the only female child. Except for maybe when I buy things for them because, you know, girls have more things. But apart from that, I don't give her any preferential treatment. So none of them is my favorite.
At least we know it's a he. She said him, so...
No, none of them actually, none. I said he because I was saying that they feel he is my favorite because he's more emotional and he tries to play the emotional card. But I tell them he's not my favorite. It's just that he's the more emotional child. So, of course, sometimes when he's in trouble and if he looks for trouble a lot, or maybe because sometimes he comes to me and he's trying to tell me all the sweet words to buy my idea of giving him what he wants. And out of the fact that I am tired of his disturbance, just go ahead and get what you want. I need to walk right now.
2 more questions. What is your favorite dish?
My favorite dish? Especially now that I'm hungry for African dish, I think everything would look like my favorite dish. Okay, my favorite dish is very, very funny. That's actually bread. Bread, but I love my local food as well, which is amala. But I love bread a lot. I can eat bread for 1 month and I don't get tired of it straight. Like, I love to eat it. Even without beverages, without drink, I can eat it any day, anytime. But I love my local food, which is amala as well, with amala, and I like semovita, but amala is number one.
Amala.
Then, yes.
Okay.
That's my local food.
Okay. Last question. Which is the best country you've been to?
The best country is the country which I am in right now, which I love so much.
Yes.
Which is Dubai. I love to come to Dubai. I love Dubai. Dubai is amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So I'm okay with Dubai then. Of course, the next country will be US after Dubai. But Dubai is always top of my list.
Amazing. If you didn't know this about her, I'm sure you've learned a few things. Let's get into the serious stuff. So at what point in your life did you realize that I needed more, you know? So that you can be able to now catapult into the woman that you are today.
Okay, when I discovered I needed more was when I also discovered that the family needs was becoming more, and I didn't want to ask my husband for money. But sometimes, of course, I don't have a choice. I have to ask. I sometimes give me money just a few weeks back, and I'm going to ask for more again. And looking at the fact that I came from a background whereby I saw my dad, the way he behaves, when my stepmom was always asking for more money and ridiculous money sometimes. And I told myself, I don't want to have the same experience when I get married. Always having to depend on a man for money and the reaction. I am made for more. I should be able to contribute to the family, also to be able to help with the finances in the home and not depend on the man to carry all the burden. Even if he is supposed to be the head of the family, doesn't mean he should carry all the burden. So for me, as at that time in my life, I just told myself that, you know, sometimes I go to my husband and say, did I just He also says it. They don't just give you money. I said the family finances are growing. I didn't buy clothes. Look at the way I spend the money. I didn't even buy anything for myself. I didn't even buy nothing, just food, just for the kids, just for the family upkeep. And at that point, I just told myself that I needed to do something. And I wanted to also move ahead with my charity work, but I couldn't do it by just depending on my husband's money.
Yes.
And I wasn't married to a Dangote son. That's one of the billionaires in my country. So I knew I needed to do something. Yes. So that was how I ventured into e-commerce. Then, apart from also venturing into something for myself, remember I said I love to add value. I also remember that a lot of housewives who actually would look like me, because I made up my mind even before I got married that anything I want to do, I don't want it to be outside my home. I want it to be something very close to my home or in my home,
yes,
so that I can look after my kids,
yeah,
and be able to raise them, because no matter the amount of money you have, if you don't raise godly children, you just wasted all your time raising your kids and wasted wealth. Yes. So I wanted to do something that would give me the opportunity to raise my kids and also to be able to give back to so many people out there who cannot actually live without their husband.
Yeah. So we would like to talk about a bit about your business and its background. Is this now how you are able to birth? You told me Genido LLC. Is this how you are able to birth it and get into e-commerce?
Okay, before Genido came,
yes,
we've had other names before Genido came, and apart from having other names as well, we actually have started the e-commerce part of the business. We're adventuring into everything we're doing right now, but the only thing was just the name wasn't Genido. So the Genido actually came out of a combination acronyms of different names. A God factor was actually there, so we just put an acronym of just few names, but God was actually the foundation of Genido coming together.
Yes.
And we just used that acronym to form Genido, and that's how the name came to be.
Amazing,
today.
Amazing. And this is now how you can, because as you've told me, from high school from secondary you used to sell a lot.
Yes.
So already you had the business acumen inside you.
Yes.
So now you just, how did you, because imagine, I'm trying to imagine you are a housewife,
yes,
you know, but now you want to jump into e-commerce, you know, that, I mean, I just wanted to understand, how did you even go about getting into this industry? Because I've tried to do drop shipping, I've tried it. I don't know what's wrong with our generation. Maybe we're not resilient enough.
Yes, but yes, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that question, because it's the reason why so many people have not broken even in the e-commerce sector. When I started, I made some money. I was happy. The business was good. But along the line, I discovered that it wasn't working fine. So one of the things I had to do was leveraging on those people who have gone ahead of me in the business. I kept learning. I signed up for coaches who actually taught me how to go about it. Funny enough, the kind of value I give my students today, none of my coaches gave me that kind of value. But having that one time with them,
yes,
sometimes it would just be a few minutes on the phone with them, sometimes it would just be a few steps they give me, was able to help me to break even in the business.
Yes.
So I listened to what they say, and I was consistent. Did I lose money along the line? Yes, I lost money, but I did not give up. I was also focused. I didn't do other businesses. There were several businesses that came to me, but I refused to do those businesses. I told myself that I will be focused in this business until I break even in the business.
Yes.
So that was it for me. And before I knew it, single-handedly, even before Genido started,
yes, I
was making 7 figures on my own before the company started. Weekly, I was making 7 figures.
Yes.
Before I even started the company Genido. So for me, it was just the resilience.
Yes.
It was the hunger.
Yes.
And I had a strong why. I tell people, what is your strong why for going into this business? Any business you want to do. My strong why was I had no other option. the only option I had was e-commerce. E-commerce would not take me away from my home.
Yes.
E-commerce, if I had other jobs, imagine I had a job, would not still take me away from the job. I know e-commerce is a business you can do and make your 7 figures.
Yes.
If you are focused, you have the right person to guide you, you have the right mentorship, and that was it for me.
That was it for you?
Yes, because you get ridiculous amount of, you get this product at ridiculous amount of money, bring it to your country, sell and make like quadruple the amount, or sometimes multiply by 100. You make returns on your investment super fast.
Yeah. So that's how Genido was able to break into the market.
Yes.
Okay. So having trained over 6,000 people, is there a recent success story that you can say stood out for you from any of your students?
Actually, there is basically no testimonial from my student I'll say actually stands out, because every student's testimonial is unique. Some of them have done over $120,000 in the business. Some have done over $70,000. Some have done $4,000, $7,000, and so we have different testimonials, which is unique to different individuals. And it is not about the volume. It is about even some of them, their background, where they were coming from. Like the story of a man who lost his job, and it was actually, luckily for him, he had signed up for the e-commerce with me, and he just went back to the e-commerce training and picked one of the things I told him to do, and he started it. And right there, he was able to get somebody who actually was able to trust him, somebody knew not from nowhere, who was able to trust him to put their money into his own hands, to go and bring in some items. And after he delivered the items, he was able to use that money to now kickstart his business. And from that little amount of money, which he started with zero capital, now he has a physical store. Now he has other businesses which he has been able to do with other businesses he has done in 7 figures. And this is somebody that had a wife, that had 4 children, and he was able to launch into his own realms of 7 figures by the e-commerce business.
Yes.
There's another person in Dubai here who actually has been saved from indebtedness twice from e-commerce business. He started the business and allowed his wife to run it. From that business, his wife was able to help him out when he ran into debt in Dubai. And not just that, the business now has grown into a 7-figure business for him. From what? From just e-commerce. And personally, he also said that the business, the job he's doing in Dubai is not making sense to him. That he wants to quit the job, as at the last time we spoke, and move fully to focus on the e-commerce business with his wife. Because they've moved from just being a mini importer to people who import in large quantities and bring it to the country. So there are different testimonials and looking at where these people are coming from. So it kind of stand out in different ways because it's unique to those individuals. And for me, it's about adding value and hearing from them that, oh, the value you've given to me has been able to transmute into a success story for me.
Yes.
So everybody's story is unique.
Great. So you've worked very closely with your husband, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Is there any values that he has instilled in you along your career path that you can be able to share with us?
Absolutely. There are so many values I've actually gotten from Dr. Stephen, who is my husband. And one of the things I say to women when I'm privileged to talk to them, or young ladies who are about to get married, is if you're married to your husband and you know this man has a lot of potential of greatness, is adding value to people, do not say because it's your husband you don't have something to learn, because you both have kids together, so you feel there's nothing you can learn from him. There is a lot of value that personally I have learned from him, and I've never taken my husband for granted.
Yes.
And I learned this a long time ago. If I can, based on my culture, you can practically kneel down for your pastors, who sometimes are quite younger than your husband, you can practically kneel down to serve your pastors, and most women will not kneel down to do the same thing to their wife.
Yes.
I'm not saying practically that I kneel down to serve my husband, but if I can honor my husband and my pastors, then I should be able to accord such honor to my spouse. So
Yes.
because I understand that, I have been able to learn from him resilience, because I used to be somebody who give up very easily. Like, I give up so easily. So I'm able to learn from him not to give up.
Yes.
Businesses have good and bad.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that business is bad. It just means that at that particular moment there are some challenges, and for you to actually move to the next phase of your triumph,
Yes.
you have to face challenges. For you to be able to go to the next class, to the next phase of life, you have to pass through an examination. But in the real world of business, your examination is in terms of challenges. And if you don't overcome those challenges, you don't go to the next phase. So I've seen him over the years how he overcome challenges.
Yes.
I've seen him over the years when he had no penny in his pockets, and he comes to a strange land, and he comes back with his quiver full of foreign currency.
Yeah.
I've seen him done all of these things, and I'm able to learn from him how to go ahead and do that as well. I'm able to see him also tackle issues.
Yes.
And I'm able to tackle issues that way. I used to be a very shy person. I'm able to learn how not to be shy. If I have to make money online, you don't have to be shy.
Yeah.
I'm able to see how he's been able to be creative and innovative, and from him I learn a lot of creativity, I learn a lot of innovation.
Yes.
Then from him I'm also able to learn the power of mentorship,
Yeah.
how it can impact your life positively, and getting the right set of people who can help you to grow in life and in your business, and being in the right network. There's so much I've actually learned from him.
Yeah.
So I'm able to learn all of these things from him, aside from my other mentors who I have. And this actually has positively been able to impact my business, impact me as a wife, as a mother, and helped me to go to the next phase. And I'm still learning, actually.
Yeah.
I've not stopped learning. Sometimes if I do a live show, you won't believe that I actually sometimes will go live, will study his video maybe for 4 hours
Yes.
before I do a live show. Sometimes maybe I have a training,
Yes.
and I want to know how does it command people's attention, all of these things. I can study his materials for about 5 days prior to those trainings.
Yeah.
Keep eating it 4 hours, 3 hours, learning from him, taking notes of what he's teaching.
Yes.
And the truth is, I've not been learning. I didn't start learning from him when I got married to him. I started learning from him in courtship. There used to be a program he used to do, 6:30. If I come late, I'm in trouble. I'm his fiancé, but I must not come late.
Yes, he will
for that
query
program.
you.
Not just query. As at then, he could even literally punish us. And we are not paying.
Yes.
6:30 under the cold weather, you are shivering, and sometimes it's raining, and you have to be there 6:30, talking about business, giving us different business strategies as students we could take to change our businesses and make us get more sales.
Yes.
When I was in school and cutting him. So for me, I've been learning from him for a long time, and I'm still learning. So I've learned resilience, I've learned innovation, creativity,
Yeah.
I've learned how not to give up, never giving up. I've learned how to be in the right network as well. I've learned so many things actually from Dr. Stephen
From
Akintayo.
him. So what is the best advice you've received from anybody, your mentors, on how to navigate career and family? Because there has to be a balance.
Absolutely. That's
And I would say again, as young people, that's where we're failing. We're not able to get to that, how to balance these areas of our lives, you
Absolutely.
know? Yeah.
Trust me, as a mother
Yes.
and a business owner, it's not easy. If anybody comes out and say, oh, it's very easy balancing both, it's not easy, but you have to constantly remind yourself, why am I an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Now, if I'm an entrepreneur to impact the lives of so many people out there, and the lives of my kids at the end of the day is not fully impacted. And to those people, yes, I've become a success. But to these ones who God has given me to become their caretaker,
Yes.
was I able to do a good job? And the answer, of course, will be left to me to answer if I did a good job or a bad job.
Yeah.
So for me, one of the ways you can manage is about time. If you can be able to look at what time do I have to put for my business, then what time do I have to put for my family?
Family, yes.
As a mother, if you know that you have to work 8 to 4 or 6 or 7 p.m.,
Yes.
you know, once you get home, you try as much as possible to leave work and give the kids the attention. Because if care is not taken, you lose those kids while you are trying to focus on your work and making money. Then care books, read a lot of books on how to raise kids, especially different ages, because although there's no template on how to raise your actually build your home and balance your home, there's no template, but you can draw a lot of virtues. You can draw a lot of points from these books. You can draw a lot of points from maybe some courses online.
Yes.
You can get as well. But above all, also ask from your maker. I trust him. Sometimes I say, God, please, you put these kids in my care. I don't know if I'm doing the right job right now, but I really need your help at this moment to really help me to do the right thing. And sometimes when I'm talking to my husband, I'm feeling bad sometimes. He said, no, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. I can see the way these children behave outside. I can see the way they talk sometimes. You're doing a good job. And so sometimes that actually helps me to remember. Sometimes also, one of the things I do, I make sure I let family interfere. Their uncles, their aunts, so that maybe there's something, their grandmother, so maybe there's something I'm missing. They can actually help me put them on track and instill that discipline in them so that they will not lose that discipline. So in case they are not scared of mommy, at least they know there's one auntie grandma out there.
She will take me to that auntie.
Yes, she'll take me there, and when they talk to me, I don't want to listen. They don't have any other choice than to do. But balancing your family and home is not something easy, but it's something achievable once you can prioritize your time.
Amazing, amazing. So as we wind up, if you look back, what advice would you give your 25-year-old self?
My 25-year-old self.
Yes.
Oh my God. Imagine if I sleep and wake up and I'm 25. You know, there used to be a time in my life I used to say I was too young. I was too young. You know, I'm too young. Oh, will these people listen to me? Oh, baby, you're too young. You're too young. Come on. Now I'm telling myself, God, I'm getting old. Sometimes when people ask me for my age, do you know sometimes I forget my current age and feel I was still the age of last year. Honestly.
But you look young. You look very young.
Yes, I still look young. But, you know, if I wait to be 25, I won't tell myself I'm too young. Because when I was 25, when I was 26, 27, when I was even 30, I was still thinking I was still young. That, you know, I'm still young to do these things I'm doing right now.
Yes.
But right now I'm feeling old. Like, the years are actually...
Time is flying.
Time is flying.
Yeah.
So if I were 25, those things which I felt I was too young to do because of my age, feeling that, oh, people think you're too young and you cannot command the respect of people because of your age, I would probably advise myself or give myself that advice. You are not too young. You should, at 25, you are too old at 25 to get started. I am too old at 25 because saying I was too young actually had a way to restrict me from starting early. Yes. Because I felt I was, you know, there was a time I wanted to really hard weight because I felt I was young. So I had that low self-esteem issue, thinking my age was a barrier. So I felt if I had weight, maybe if I'm taller, people would respect me. People would look down on me and think I'm young. You know, sometimes when in Africa, when people come to your house and they see you, they look at you, you're married, they don't even know you're married. The next thing they ask, where's your mom? At that age, people ask me, where's my mom? Even when I was 30, people still ask me, where's my mom? So sometimes I have to maybe try to dress to look big or wear makeup or try to carry myself in a way so that people can see that she might look young, but she's married, she has kids. But at that particular stage in my life, I've advised myself, and anybody who is 25 right now, please don't say you are too young to get started. Actually, you are too old to get started. You are not too young. So if I'm to advise my 25-year-old, is to tell myself, babe, at 25, you are old to start, because people are making 7 figures at the age of 18, at the age of 16,
Yes.
and they are making waves. Even at the age of 12 right now, you're hearing kids who are so talented, so smart, and they are earning 7 figures. So at the age of 25, this babe was too old to get started.
Yes.
So I won't advise myself anymore and tell myself I'm too old. Rather, I'll tell myself, this time, right now, is the time for you to get started.
It's the time for you to
at
get
the age
started.
of 25.
Yes.
And also another thing I would have done, I advised my 25-year-old, was to get a mentor earlier. Yes, I had mentor in some areas,
Yes.
especially in family, but not in business. Even it took me a while to start listening to my husband. It wasn't immediately I actually got married. I got married at the age of about in my early 20s, before 25, I think around 23, 24,
Yes.
got married, or 20, close to 20, thereabout. So I would have been able to advise myself to get a business mentor early, or to start listening to my husband early enough if I had not gotten a business mentor. So listen to him and do some of those things which he was teaching people to do,
Yes.
and be able to get waves in my business.
Yeah.
So those are the two things. I'm not too old.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm too old at 25, not too young, to get started, and also to get mentors early in life.
Early
in
in
business.
life. I don't know about you, but this has been such a valuable session. So to anybody who is wondering, how do I tap, how do I get to connect with this e-commerce guru, how do I get to access your coaching lessons, how can they be able to get in touch with you? Okay,
for those who are looking at how can it be a part, all you need to do is send a mail to our email address. That's Bisi Akintayo consult@gmail.com. Bisi Akintayo consult@gmail.com, and you can send us a mail. So our line is plus 1201 238 5486. That's my US number, so you can also reach out to me via WhatsApp, of course, on the US line, or the email is just fine. Bisi Akintayo consult. And check me out on across my social media handle is Bisi Akintayo across all my social media handle.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, Bisi Akintayo, and you'll be able to connect with me.
We will put all that information there, so make sure you tap. This is the time. If you're thinking of jumping into e-commerce, if you want somebody to give you advice on your business, I advise you. She's already said it. I'm 25. I'm too old. From today, I'm too old. I mean, thank you so much for being here. This has been so amazing.
Thank you for having
me. You want her to come again, especially here in Dubai, if you want to see her here in Dubai, please comment down below. Thank you for watching GTEX Hub Online TV. This has been our first episode of our lifestyle show, and to be graced by Mrs. Akintayo. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing.
It's been an amazing time.
It's amazing. Thank you guys. Have a good evening. Bye.